Hey everybody, welcome
Hello.
to the
This is a
Hawaiian
special-
Island edition.
Yeah, this is a special edition of the podcast.
Yeah, we are way out in
In
Maui
Hawaii.
and doing this, which is really, really fun because we're looking out the window and we're seeing palm trees
blowing
and
in the
breeze is
breeze.
going and there's a rainbow.
There was a rainbow this morning.
And it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
So we're enjoying it. But anyway, so I hope you're in Hawaii. I don't know, or you get to go because it's really amazing. It's the first time we've ever been here, and it's beautiful. We love it so much.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on in our world. But what else? What else do we want to share?
I mean,
Lots of stuff.
how far do we want to go with this?
How far do we want to go?
It's actually 9 a.m. here, and so we normally record the podcast at 1 p.m.
And we're still dealing with jet lag because we just got here not that long ago. But
yeah,
we're adapting.
we're adapting. Yeah, they're like, I feel so sorry for you.
Oh, yeah. No, I know.
But it is one of those things where I'm like, oh, I still got morning face, puff, and my voice isn't in tip-top shape yet.
Yeah.
That's all right.
But one of the questions...
We're here. We showed up.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
And I want to talk today about one of the questions that we get. I get a lot anyway. Hey, Bob, what's your favorite X tool for your business that you use?
Your favorite X? Isn't there just one kind?
I like the X.
You're like, I like 10X.
And so people ask, hey, have you found a payroll software that works for you? Have you found a business bank that you like? I just get these questions over and over again.
Me too. People are always asking me what business bank I like.
You do get them more than you want them, probably. I actually enjoy the conversations.
I'm like,
Talk to Bob. But
sometimes, like after our true financial class, people will be like, hey, I wanted to ask you something. And I'll be like, is it a Linda question or is it a Bob question? Be like, I just want to make sure you're coming to the right person before you tell me your whole story. Because it's a lot of words for someone to share. And then me be like, I don't know. Sorry.
Well, anyway. I know. And there's some questions I want them to have you answer. And I send them your way.
That's true.
But anyway, all that to say, I want to share today 5 of my favorite, really, or what I would say are essential tools for us running our business. And I've been wanting to talk more and more about business. And so if you enjoy anything, if you're a business owner, freelancer, and you enjoy content like this, like let us know, because this has been on our radar and there's a lot here that we'd love to talk about, but I just want to make sure it's interest before we start doing it.
Yeah. Well, and you, I think in particular, love talking about business.
I really, really do. And I feel like
all business guys love talking about business.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you're an entrepreneur, you're like, yeah, I just give me in there.
Yeah.
But then there's some people who are like, I just really want to do the thing. Mm-hmm. And the business part stresses them out. So either way, it's going to be helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. So with all that, let's dive in and kind of get to it. So like I mentioned, payroll. Okay. So I'll just give you a little bit of my backstory here. We've worked with a lot of payroll companies and I have hated, I don't know if maybe that's too strong of a word. I've strongly disliked almost all of them that we've worked with. And I think the biggest reason, it's like the equivalent, like the DMV or I don't know, like Microsoft Word. Like maybe that's not bad enough, but there's just a lot of things where it's like I feel like you're stuck 2 decades behind the current times and the current needs of business owners now, and that was always very, very frustrating for me. And so we, even before we had anybody else on our team other than Linda and I, we were taking paychecks because, our accountant, we worked with him and basically set us up. I think if I remember this correctly, we're a single member LLC being taxed as an S Corp, I believe, which allows you to take paychecks. Like I'm not a tax whiz, so it's like all that business structure whiz. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I think that's the gist of how we're set up. And as a result, we've been able to take paychecks, which is our regular consistent income. And then if there's extra profit, then we can take that as a distribution at a different point throughout the year. But anyway, so that required us to get a payroll company. Okay. And so our accountant just picked the one he had worked with the most.
Yeah. And things were set up different before than they were now, right? But the payroll thing is what's remained the same.
Yeah. Well, in terms of business structure, it's still the same.
But, okay.
But anyway, yeah. So we just went with the first guy that he recommended, and it was just bad.
Not a great experience.
Just bad. Just the way it just required. Excuse me. It just required so much time and energy and work from me. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I don't need to do anything. Like, we don't have a team of 50 people where it's like, I got to double check everybody's payroll and spend 3 hours a day on this. Like,
right. Because we don't have like a CFO.
Yeah.
You're the CFO.
Yeah. Like, there was just, we don't have a finance department. Like, I just needed something. Just print me a paycheck. Anyway, all that to say, like, I'm not going to get into all the weeds of everything that was wrong with all the other ones. But long story short, Gusto is who we ended up finding on, I don't even know how this got recommended to us, but somebody recommended Gusto. And I'm like, I've just had enough problems with payroll companies. Like,
you weren't really looking for to change.
Yeah, and to be honest, I had gotten used to like the mediocrity of all the ones we worked with, and I'm just like, we have a system, it's fine, I don't need to change it. But once we switched over them, I'm like, I cannot believe how much simpler this is, how much time they have saved me, and even like a lot of the state tax filing stuff, like they do it all now, and it's like these state tax forms come in and that are like these. I don't even know what they are. And it's like, I either send it to my account and I'm like, what the heck is this? What do I do with this? And it's like, oh, don't worry, Gusto's taking care of that. They're already doing that. I'm like, yes, thank you so much. And so there's so many moments like that where I'm like, this is just fantastic. Whereas before, the previous payroll company is like, you need to go in and fill out this 50-page IRS form and do all this stuff. And,
voice right now. You know, according to my calculations.
Yeah. Anyway,
that was that voice.
Bottom line, Gusto has been a huge blessing and time saver for us.
I'm going to ask a question. Do you think that there is room for someone possibly listening to 11 Stars experience this payroll business and just knock it out of the park?
Yeah, if you are running a payroll company, I would go look at what Gusto is doing and just use that as your 11-star experience to crush it.
No, use that as a 5-star experience and then figure out what an 11-star experience would be, right?
That's fine, but Gusto's already doing way past 5-star.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great.
They're just doing really well. But
okay.
Anyway, so we'll have links to all these down in the description below. They also
have you bought stock in Gusto? It seems like something you would buy stock in.
Maybe I haven't. We can look into that if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, because they really are like they're doing things just really, really well.
Yes, I want. Please find out about.
Okay, I will. I will buy that for you for Christmas.
No, I take it back. That's what she wants. Stock options.
A Gusto stock certificate.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so at the end of the year, they get it's like their main recruitment period or whatever, and so they're offering like I think it's $100 sign up bonus. So if you are interested, this is probably a good time to check them out. So that's number one.
Gusto.
Number one in terms of essential tools for our business that I'm really excited about. Number two, also essential tool that I'm also really excited about is Relay Bank. This is the business bank that we use. Again, this is probably the most common question I get. Bob, I need a business bank. What do you recommend? And ideally one that is free, because it's really hard to find a business bank account that is not free. All of the biggest banks out there, BOA, US Bank of America, or Bank of America said, whatever, all the big ones, like they'll have business accounts and they might even have a good number of features, but they're all going to charge you, and they're going to have nickel and dime with fees and everything else. And again, like Relay, one of the things I love about them is they are not 10 years, 20 years in the past. And so even some of these banks, like big banks like Chase and BOA and stuff, they're doing like the tech wise, like they're actually, on the front cusp of what is going on in banking in terms of you can deposit checks from your phone. It's like, whoa, like that should be really common. That should have been common for the last decade. And there are obviously some banks that are still just getting caught up on stuff like that. But there's a lot. So even though they are forward in some of the tech that they're doing, like there's just a lot of mindset stuff in how they run the business and how it affects us as business owners that drives me up a wall. And anyway, Relay is just the opposite. They're just like very young and fresh and new. And as a result, they're just forward thinking, and they're doing a lot of things, again, that are making my life so much easier. And the biggest draw for Relay, the unique thing about them that sets them apart from every other bank, is if you're in our Real Money Method course, you know that we spend so much time trying to find banks that work well with that unbudgeting approach that we do in a
right.
Real Money Method course. Like, so, I mean, I literally have probably opened up bank accounts at probably 25 to 30 different banks, just testing them out, trying to find the ones that are working. And so we have all these banks all over the country with
Oh my
$50 in
gosh.
them that I probably just need to
Can
consolidate.
I have that money? Like, go start closing
No, I'm
bank
going to buy
accounts.
Gusto stock with it. Anyway,
Dang it.
so anyway, so the point is that we've worked really hard to find banks that work with that Real Money Method. Now, what Relay does is there's a book that was written called Profit First, and it's essentially like boiled down. It's kind of like what the Real Money Method is for your business, and I love. So Mike Michalowicz, I believe is how you say his name. He wrote this book, and it's the business version of Real Money, and I love it. And so we've been using that. And Relay is a bank that is designed to work with that. They've basically partnered with Mike on this book, like with the book, and so the whole bank is built around that idea.
Oh my gosh,
and
that's
so
brilliant.
and so what it does, like briefly, the profit first approach to running your business is, as the name suggests, you have all your revenue come in for the month, but you take profit out first. So what most business owners do is they pay themselves last. And he's arguing what you want to do is pull profit out first, let everything else fall through the cracks. And again, it's just like the thing that we see all the time with giving or with anything else that you prioritize. Like everything else just does tend to fit in. But if you make giving the last thing that you do, it's like, there's no money to give this month.
Right.
Because all just goes somewhere.
Right.
So anyway, so his argument is you pull profit out first, and then all the other stuff falls into the cracks. And it's just a really smart system. And so this bank is structured in a way that you can have your revenue come into your main account, and it can automatically pull out certain money and transfer it to your profit account. And then automatically at certain times of the month, based on percentages, I believe even send money to separate places, divide them up into different accounts. There's just like a lot of cool automation things that they're doing there. And they have 1% savings on their business account, which, if you saw my previous podcast, isn't the best out there, but it's actually way better than most business banks that charge you fees and then pay you 0.0001% on your savings accounts and things like that. So anyway, all I have to say, it's just been a really good bank. We've enjoyed working with them as well.
Great.
Do you have any comments on this?
Zero comments.
What's your experience with Relay?
I haven't had much.
It's a virtual bank, so there's not any locations.
There's no brick and mortar. Yeah.
And like what we do is we deposit our checks on the app. That's all we do. And we transfer between our other business bank accounts. So you can have another business bank account, like a local branch that you want to walk into if you want.
Yeah, depositing the check. I mean, I had never deposited a check online until Relay, I think, because we always had a brick and mortar, and once I figure something out, like pretty much, it's like, I don't think that's old, but it's just like once I figure out a system, that system is easier for me than just trying to figure out something new. And I don't think that it's, some people are like super adaptable all the time. I'm just like, I'm being adaptable with my kids so much. I'm bending and flexing with so many different things that if I can just have a system that's simple that I don't have to think about, I would prefer to do that.
Yeah.
That's what it really comes down to. But depositing the checks, I was like, wow, that was quick and easy. So for me, it was nice that it was an easy like transition of something that I've already known into something I don't know how to do, but I figured it out like that.
Yeah.
So that's been pretty much my experience. That's not very much information, but but there you go.
Yeah. Well, and one other thing I'll just add to
and I think you can like scroll between, is it the cards or something? Because we have like different cards for different things.
So
for
that was one of the things I was
going
to mention. Right? One of the things that's cool that they do is they have virtual debit cards. So you can have both a physical debit card if you want and take it to a store, but you can also have a virtual one that you can use online. And then you can create virtual ones for each employee or give them physical ones. So it's like you can segment out a lot of stuff like that. And then you also have role-based kind of access for your different team members. So you might have someone on your team who you want to just pay bills and they can go in and do that. You might have someone who you want to have access to one or two of your accounts, but not all of them. You can set all this up.
That's really nice.
It's just really great and helpful as a business owner. Whereas like all my other business accounts, like that was never a possibility. So I'm in this position where it's like, all right, do I want to give this employee access to everything?
Right.
Like, do I have that level of trust yet? Or, and so this is super helpful. Their customer support, I think it's 24/7. Like, it's just,
yeah, that's great.
it's just, they're doing some smart stuff. But
yeah.
anyway, they also are having, I think, a $50 sign up bonus.
Right now.
Again, we have links down in the description. You can check all these out. Third on our list is Asana. Okay. And so this is our task management, project management tool that really, we use it for project management, but more than that, like it's my to-do list.
This
that
is
I
your
live
running to-do
by.
list. Yeah. You wake up in the morning and you check Asana.
Well, this is the thing that like defines what I'm getting done each day. And it's a fantastic project management tool that we have barely scratched the surface of what's possible with it, because I wouldn't say that we're a huge project oriented company.
Right.
We have some projects, but anyway, but the point is like, it's been a great tool.
So if
for
you're
all
running
of our
like
team.
an event or something like that, that would be great, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, any kind
just
of
throw it
project
onto,
stuff, but
because you can assign stuff to yourself. You can assign it to other people.
Yeah.
So it's like, this task needs to get done. I'm going to ask Linda to do this, and you just send it. You just assign it to me, right?
Yeah. And again, they're
and then
just
you get notified,
smart.
so you know it's there. Yeah.
They're innovative. They keep making it better and better. One of the things I just saw, anybody who's used Evernote for a long time, like they just basically took their free plan, which they were always famous for, and like took out a lot of features and now put it behind a paywall. And I'm like, you guys are just done. You guys are done. Like
I don't even think I can log into Evernote anymore.
Evernote was so innovative probably 15 years ago, and they just stopped innovating. And they
just started making people pay for stuff. It was like they got you, and then they're like, now we're going to make you pay for everything.
Well, they didn't innovate. Like the problem is they went like a decade without adding any new features or anything else like that. They just sat. And then Notion popped up and is taking their lunch. That's another. I don't have that on this list. I should. Notion is.
You should have that on this list.
Notion is everything that Evernote isn't, and is fantastic. And that's why they're taking Evernote's lunch. But anyway, Evernote now out of desperation is like, all right, we got to start charging all of our free customers because I guess they're drowning. I don't really know, but
that's sad. It's
anyway,
sad to see businesses
it was such
go
a
under.
great product. Like it was so revolutionary.
Yeah, we used it
out.
for everything.
And it's now I'm just annoyed because I got to move everything out of there into Notion. And Notion actually has a pretty good import feature to kind of move things through. But
Evernote,
some things just have to be adapted, and it's just time that I don't feel like spending. But anyway, all that to say.
Okay, so back to Asana.
Asana is great. Notion, I don't even have on the list.
You don't even have it on the list. I think you need to add it real quick.
We'll add that in. Notion's fantastic. I don't know how I didn't think of that. Anyway.
I don't know, because I could have told you. I would have caught that
all right,
one.
You'll build the list next time. But Notion is great. We really, really like that tool a lot. I use it.
That's where you wrote the book?
I wrote our book in Notion. Yeah. It's not designed for that, but it's just that good that, I mean, I could do a whole podcast on how I wrote the book in Notion. If anybody's interested, let me know. We can maybe do that. But anyway, Asana is really good for our team and communicating the different things we have going on, delegating tasks out, and stuff like recurring things. So like we'll have each podcast episode goes out. There is I guess that's a project that's set up with, I think there's 25 different tasks. Each one is assigned to different people on our team. So this person creates the description. This person creates this. This person sends it to YouTube. This person does all that. So all the stuff's just happening. Just everybody's checking off one thing after another, and then it's done. And I cannot imagine how anyone gets anything done without a tool like this. And they're not the only tool out there like this. I just found it to be pretty good.
Great.
So, all right. So that's that.
Asana. Would you use it just for your own personal checklist, to-do list?
It's too... No. I wouldn't just use it for that, since we are using it. We're paying for it because it is a paid tool. Like they might have a free version, but...
okay, that's...
But anyway, it's overkill to just use it only as a personal checklist. Like there's so many other tools, like Todoist is another great one. That,
oh yeah, you used to use that one all the time.
Yeah, and that was great. I would have, I still like that.
But you switched over to Asana because...
I want it all in one place.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's my to-do list. So anyway, number 4 on our list, or 5.
Well, one of the other things I was going to say about Notion. Yeah, Notion. Can we talk about that for another minute? So we use that just for, in case anybody's listening who doesn't have a business and is like, I don't know. But we use that we do a lot of checklists in there. And that's really great because you can just check off the item, but it doesn't delete it.
Yeah.
And I really like that. So like we'll do our grocery list in there and we'll just check items off. It's like we'll have the whole thing there. Everything's checked off and then we uncheck what we need to purchase.
Yeah.
So then you can just go back in and check it as you purchase it or as you stick it in the cart or whatever.
Yeah, and we have different checklists for each store because there's certain stores that have different
stores,
things.
yep.
And so it just makes it really convenient.
Mm-hmm.
And even like coming on a trip like this, like I have a checklist in there for travel. Like what are all the things we need to remember to bring? And you know, and again, you could do this in Evernote. Like it's not like this is a revolutionary idea, but
that's what we use it for.
Saying one of the ways we use it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's great. Yeah.
All right. Leave it at that. Number 4 or 5, whatever we're at on this list, is MediShare. Okay. So we are using this as our health insurance alternative. And so we don't have health insurance as a company per se, but this is the alternative that we're using and we've used. And I don't want to, we've talked about this enough. It's like 14 years or something. 13?
Yeah, 13. I think 2010 is when we got it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
crazy.
It's been a long time.
Anyway, yeah, we've talked about this enough. You can find us talking about other places. I don't want to spend much time on it, but all that to say, yeah, it's worked. It's been fine for us. It's saved us a ton of money over if we would have from the beginning bought like just a traditional business health insurance policy. Like this has saved us a lot of money. So that's been really nice. All right, number 5 or 6, because I have a couple honorable mentions as well. Like, so where I don't know where we're at this
is a lot. All right.
Slack. It's Slack. And Slack is the tool that I would have never, I mean, probably a lot of you are listening are like, I already use that. Like, we don't need to talk about it much. That's fine. It is pretty integrated. Like almost everybody uses it, but it's one of those things where it's like, I would have never thought we need this. I'm like, why? Like when we first started using it, probably 5 years ago or something, I'm like, why do I need that? Like, what's the point? And now it's like, it makes a little bit more sense. Like it filled a gap and a void. Like basically what it did for us is get us to stop sending so many emails and having these messy email threads going everywhere. And now we've moved that into Slack. So we can have conversations in different channels about specific topics.
Right.
And have all there. It's searchable. So it's like, oh, what were we saying about, you know, when we were kicking off that 10X launch and what we're going to do the graphics then or something like that. And
well,
now I can search.
It almost like makes more sense for you to have like your meeting through text in Slack, right? I mean, not a full meeting, but just like a reminder of like, okay, this person's going to do this. This is, you know, this is what's happening with this, so that you can go back and like see it again, right?
Yeah. No, that's good.
And you can do little huddles, which is basically like FaceTime.
This has been a nice feature. So so we've used it traditionally just as like, all right, quick question, where an email might be too slow of a response or a phone call might take too long. So you just send a DM and you can send voice messages, you can send videos over it or whatever, and just quickly screen share, whatever, all that stuff. And that has just saved us so much time. But then now they rolled out this feature called a huddle, which basically has gotten us to a point where we barely use Zoom anymore. So we used to like, all right, let's jump on Zoom for 30 minutes and discuss this thing. It's like now we just do it all within Slack. And so I press a button and it invites the other people, and then we all just hop on and then we turn off. It's so much
and you can
quicker.
see if they're there or if they're not there. So if you just hit the huddle button, you know that it's going to notify them and basically call them, right?
Yeah, and it's so much faster than Zoom. Like Zoom, it's again, like Zoom is stuck in whatever 20 years ago. And so just to get into a Zoom room, like I feel like this, it's like sometimes it takes me literally 5 minutes to log into a Zoom room. So it's like, all right, well, we need to text you a code to do this, and you need to get in here, and then you need to click this button and then open this window, and like it's just why?
Yeah, why? That
is this
is so true.
Much work? This should be easy. I should press a button. I should be in the room. Anyway, this is just so much simpler. So you can tell.
Have we convinced you yet?
Have you? I don't know if you're laughing or annoyed at how annoyed I get at a lot of things like this. Like I just
why, guys? It's inefficient.
That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. I like things to work and be efficient, and when they're not, and when they can be, and it's this thing. It's like these organizations have the resources to make them amazing, and they're just not. And that's what bothers me.
Literally, if you like efficiency, you will like our book or any of our courses, because that's all Bob is optimizing for. Is how can I communicate this in the most efficient way possible so that they can do it and get on with their lives. right?
Sure.
That's the whole idea.
That's the whole idea. So anyway,
Efficiency is key.
All right, let's roll through the honorable mentions real quick, and then we'll do that. So honorable mention: WP Engine is our web host that we use for SeedTime.com.
Okay, good.
That we've used for the last 10 years or something. What I have enjoyed about them is that they only host WordPress sites. So previously, I would work with other hosts, and I'd talk to one of the tech guys, and they weren't familiar with WordPress because there's all kinds of different types of sites that you could host, but they only do WordPress.
Is WordPress like the king still?
Well, I would say it's being dethroned a little bit by Squarespace and by some of these.
Squarespace.
But for a long time, WordPress powered. It was like 38% of the internet was a WordPress site. It was like insane. And I don't think it's like that anymore. But still, like they're by far the biggest blogging and not just blogging, but it's a.
Do people still blog?
Oh yeah, tons of people blog.
Oh, okay.
Go start a blog. Anyway, so if you have a WordPress site, WP Engine, they make sense because they do a lot of things specific for WordPress sites that a lot of other ones don't. They check all your plugins and they understand WordPress sites. That's what it comes down to, and so they're really good.
So if you have WordPress, this is a great.
They're not the cheapest out there, but they were worth the premium because they saved me a lot of time, a lot of mental stress.
Well, yeah, and maybe if your business is really small and you're struggling on paying the bills, would you do that, or would you?
Well, honestly, like hosting is just pretty cheap. Like you can start with them it's probably $15 or $30 a month. It's like
that's great.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
And then you can scale up with them.
Yeah.
Just pay them more money and get more from them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Bigger, more. You can get a dedicated hosting server if you want all that stuff. But anyway.
Okay, great.
All right. Next honorable mention is Canva. And this is a design tool, I would put it that way. And this has kind of become our go-to source for all things design, because I had all the Adobe products and we would make things in Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever. And Canva is kind of like the 80-20 of that. It's the problem with all the Adobe stuff, again, is that it just takes a long time. In the process of opening it up and editing and saving and organizing, like Canva has mastered that. And it's so good because I can just go in there and I can organize all of our images, upload everything. I can search and find things, and then I can quickly edit them, and it's all in one spot. Rather than having these Adobe files that I need to save this to Dropbox, and I got like it's just easier. It's just easier, and it's built for simplicity. It's built for speed. It's built for collaboration. So it doesn't have all of the bells and whistles of the Adobe tools, but it has enough that for most design stuff, you can just get the job done, and you don't need to be a designer to get it done in most cases. Like, so we've paid designers to create templates for us in Canva, and then, swapping things out off of those templates, a lot of people on our team can do. And so that has just made, again, the whole process so much more efficient.
Right.
And been really, really helpful.
And one of the things you were telling me is that if you are a designer, being able to work in Canva, like it for so long, the standard was the Adobe suite. And now if you can work in Canva.
If you want to make money designing, I would be working in Canva. I will say it that way. And I'm saying that, I guess, because really high-end designers are still going to laugh at that statement. Because yes, if you're a really high-end designer and you have these clients who are paying you $30,000 to do an ad campaign design, whatever, like that, you're in a different league, in an echelon. But most designers fall into a realm of not that. And the point is that there are so many, like you go to a place like Creative Market or something like that, and I specifically go there and I look for templates for Canva. And I'm buying those templates for Canva. And I'm intentionally looking for things that aren't
this feels like a great
Adobe
side hustle, or, something
and
for somebody.
It's still a new enough market that if you can begin designing good things like for Canva, because that's part of where we are with Canva, is like there's not enough really great looking templates. There's some, but there's not enough. But if you're a great designer and you go over there and start designing for Canva and sell those templates, like you're going to crush it right now.
There you
like
go.
There's so much opportunity
I like
with
this.
that. So just my 2 cents on that. All right. Last and final honorable mention is Later. This is our social media scheduler that we use. And it's really helpful.
So what do you use it? What social media do you use it for?
Everything we can, we run through that. And so right now we're doing a lot of short form content, video stuff. And so it's going to Instagram, it's going to TikTok. We are sending things to LinkedIn via that. We are maybe even YouTube shorts. Are we doing them on there? I don't even know. X, Facebook, all the stuff. Like you can do it all from right there.
Formerly known as Twitter.
If we have to say it still, yes. So all that stuff.
I haven't been on Twitter in probably 10 to 15 years. And so for people calling it X, I'm just like, what? I forgot that's called X now.
Figured it out pretty fast. So anyway, Later it's just been a good tool for us. And there's other tools out there. Buffer is similar, but we've used both. We've liked Later a little bit more. But anyway, those are honorable mentions. I would love to hear from you. What are the essential tools that you are running your business that are helping you? Let me know. Send me a DM at SeedTime on Instagram. Send us an email, Bob@SeedTime.
Didn't you talk to someone who was... Never mind. I forgot what the real question is.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking Brandon recommended something to you.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
You don't remember what it was?
Nope.
Okay.
But
never mind.
Maybe we'll do a podcast about it when we remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you have a cool tool that you're like, this is great, Bob should have this on the list. Bob should know about this because I'm tracking with him in his efficiency thing.
Yeah, seriously.
Send it my way, please. I want to know. But anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope it is as sunny where you are as it is here.
Or
I'm looking out the window.
Even if it's not as sunny, hopefully it's Christmassy.
That's true. Like, because
those are different things.
We're here, doing Christmas in Hawaii, which is really
a song
cool.
about it,
and we're really excited about it. But I'm not gonna lie, like I like a Christmas to be a little bit chillier. So we're going to enjoy the green grass here.
Here's what I'm loving about Christmas in Hawaii is that I can't go to that required function.
All the
like
things.
There's all of a sudden it's just like I can't do any of the things that anybody
Christmas
wants
pressure.
me to do. It's all gone because we just can't. We physically can't do it.
We're far away.
I'm really enjoying that so far.
Yeah. No, me
I think
too.
that's something. I was talking to my friend about this the other day. I was like, I wonder if the world is going to shift into all of a sudden where right now it's like you have 500 things to do within a 3-week period of time, and you better be enjoying this time with your family.
Mm-hmm.
You better be making the most of it and making the memories because the memories are what count and blah blah blah. And you're like, I am so stressed out that I can't even sit down and watch a Christmas movie because as soon as I sit down, I'm just gonna pass out and fall asleep because I'm so tired. But I wonder if the pendulum is gonna swing the other direction to where all of a sudden it's gonna be like we've lost the meaning of Christmas, and even for people who don't celebrate Jesus, because there are those people out there. Unfortunately, we're not those people. But no, we collectively. But like even for them, I would think it's just like there's not any family time. There's just no time for it.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
Yeah.
And so
I don't know.
I'm kind of interested to see what happens in the next few years because as of right now, I'm kind of thinking I think I might quit. I might quit the December rush.
Skip December.
Yeah. Maybe we just sabbatical all of December every year.
It's interesting. All right. Anyway, y'all are awesome. We'll see you in the next one.
No comments on that? You just wanted to... Okay, bye.
Yes. Okay, bye. We'll see y'all next time. Adios.
All right, we want to know if you've heard about our flagship class called True Financial Freedom.
Yeah, and if you haven't, it's more than just a money class. It's really about fulfilling your God-given purpose, breaking free from hidden money beliefs, and making a lasting impact.
Yeah, and we've gotten feedback from students, and they've said things like, it is the first class I've taken where at the end of each session I felt equipped and not burdened.
Yeah, and it's less theory and more realistic action steps and guidance.
We've also heard it felt like a conversation with friends, which is awesome.
Yeah, and it encouraged me in ways I didn't think I would ever experience.
This class is on demand, and it's designed for churches and small groups as well as individuals. And you can get all the details at seedtime.com/TFF.